Well, it's Memorial Day weekend. I'm just kind of moseying around. Figured I'd show off the plants a little bit. Yeah, my wife's one of her favorite plants. It's doing very well. The old elephant ears survived the time while we were in Mexico. It was running out of water. I didn't know if it was going to make it or not, but it's obviously doing well now. Been fixing the gazebo. Had some storms and some of the straps up there broke, so I had to replace those. I kind of keep my gazebo going. I've got some weak ones here I'm going to have to replace because it gets filled up with water and they might be snapping next. But yeah, overall the plants are doing good. I got a bee? Yes, I do. I got a carpenter bee. Those traps work well. The gardenias, wow, they're coming in full bloom here. This one especially. I mean, all the rain we had, it was actually starting to keel over. The magnolia, we've had a lot of rain. All of a sudden the plants are doing amazingly well. Roses, yeah, all my wife's plants, yeah, they're all green. I know she misses this. I'm sure she's probably visiting. But I figured I'd do an update on stuff. We're coming up on half of the year, and deck is looking good. Concrete's doing good. Of course, you know, it's been actually one of my more popular videos. Been getting a lot of comments on the pouring a 60-foot concrete sidewalk by hand. There's the only crack. I knew it would crack. Like I said, you know, when I had this done last year, it was just to stop the erosion from my mega shed. Look, all the water's been diverted, going down that direction instead of my driveway. So, yeah, and the revenue I've gotten from this video has already paid for all the materials and labor costs. So, yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, I wasted my money. This guy didn't know what he was doing." Well, you know. You get those people that claim to be experts, yet you go to their channel and they have no videos of their own for proof of their work. I find that really amazing. But anyway, I'll take a walk inside the mega shed. Yeah, Memorial Day weekend. We might be doing some more work this coming week, but again, it all depends on my friend Mike. There's that kickboard. Just kind of got it set up there to see what it's going to look like. That's a 8-foot strip. So, yeah, a little bit short, but again, not a big deal. Because then we'll get it around the edge here and then probably the edge of this cabinet. So I got two strips and still got tools set up. And, but yeah, stain, the paint, all looks good. It's really coming along in here. So there's the Luan, stained, all dry. So again, we're just waiting on Mike to come by and cut it to shape. And there's our other piece of baseboard, or the kickboard, and then the 5 strips of baseboard that we'll probably put along the top of the loft here, and the light box is there. So anyway, I'll make a spot on the table here, set the tripod up, and I'm going to relax in my old recliner, and we'll talk about some stuff. Kick back, cherry Coke. Yeah, I figured I'd go over a few things people have been asking, you know, comments and questions and stuff like that. So I figured I'd just write down a few things, and plus some things that are on my mind. Yeah, the Memorial Day weekend. You know, last year, if you recall, for those that are longtime followers, I got rid of my psycho ex-friend, kicked him out about this time last year, And things were looking on the up and up for my wife and I. We're in the process of taking another vacation to Mexico for my birthday, and she was going to get checked out by the doctor. She was suffering. She was having her pains, I think, as far back as March, but just never went to the doctor. I know her sister, her niece in Charlotte had set up an appointment. She just didn't go. I tried getting her up. I remember that. I had it marked on the calendar too. 10 a.m. appointment with a doctor in Charlotte. She just didn't go. Anyway, we were planning on our trip to Mexico, and as you all know, that's when things started to go downhill. That was basically our last vacation when we left June 12th. And just yesterday, last night, that's kind of another reason I'm doing this video. I stumbled across the video from Father's Day of last year when we were in Mexico, and Yadi wanted to go visit her dad in the cemetery. It was just a weird feeling. I went there, I'll probably put a link to that video in the description. It was just weird, going through there. I mean, there was a lot of history. She wanted to go, and I think that was the last time that I was at that cemetery was probably 4 years prior to that visit. And it was just a weird feeling for me. Like, I just had this weird premonition like I might be back here again. And little did I know that 7 months later that would be happening. But next month is going to be tough. We took our last vacation together, and she didn't come back. She has not been here now for almost a year. Yeah, when we left June 12th, that was the last time that she was here at my house. So we're going on a year already. It has not been easy. But so is life, I guess you could say. Yeah. I mean, overall, I've been doing good. Just start, again, trying to keep myself occupied. The projects in the mega shed, that's a lot of people have been asking, putting a lot of time and effort and all that into this place. Well, again, I'm trying to keep myself occupied. Luckily, I got a friend Mike that's helping me out with some stuff. He's been doing this type of work for 35 years, and he's helping me out a lot. Helping me get stuff done that should have been done and wasn't. So that's, again, I'm just making videos, trying to keep myself occupied, trying to keep myself busy, and keep my mind off of things. So, but again, the projects are getting ready to probably come to an end here pretty soon. I can't keep spending money on material, and I need to save, because that leads me to my other point, the job hunt. I know a lot of people have been bringing up suggestions. Hey, look at this place, look at this, or check this place out. And I've been looking at a lot of different areas. Uber has been brought up a few times. I've looked into it, but it's just not that popular here. It's up in Charlotte, but not in my area of northern South Carolina. And again, I'm hearing horror stories of people getting assaulted. There was one guy that was an Uber driver from Charlotte, and then they found his body here in town. And that's hearing stuff like that kind of shies me away. I've dealt with customer service and ornery people in my business for 16 years, and you just get those people you can't satisfy. That's anywhere. It doesn't matter what job or whatever that you're working. You just have to learn to deal with that. And when I was in the Navy and nuclear submarines, that's something we went through in our psychological training, because we were going to have to live with assholes that you didn't want to be around. You couldn't get away from them, so you had to learn to adapt. And try to either change the subject, tone their mood down, make them more, calm them down so you can talk to them on a civil level. The jobs that I've been looking at, again, I'm trying to be picky while I've got the time. So far, I figured I'd be working by the end of this month, and it has not worked out. I've had a couple possibilities that I'm still waiting on. One of them was for, I think, an environmental inspector. They require a bachelor's degree. They require some background in geology, which I've got from college. And of course, being a quality assurance inspector at my former job for 10 and a half years, and then the 4 years of the Navy, which I was told I can count because that's what I had to do was quality assurance work while on the submarine. I was told I met the minimum requirements, but I have not been called up for an interview yet. I was told I could be called up at any time, to come in for an interview. Well, that's been a month now. So again, I'm just kind of in limbo, waiting on some of these responses. I've got some other possibilities that I'm checking out. I've got a friend who said he'd probably be able to get me on at his place. But again, I hate to go to work at, and a friend of mine, he works to get me on at his place. And then all of a sudden one of the jobs comes up that I wind up, for an interview, and I wind up getting, then I have to leave that job. Then I kind of put my friend in a bind. I'm trying to avoid that if at all possible. So that's why I'm kind of being picky right now. I'm trying to apply for jobs that require a bachelor's degree, which I have, require some quality assurance background, or even some accounting background. The only problem is I don't have an accounting degree. People want those pieces of paper. I've got a piece of paper, but it's not the right one. I don't have the certifications like Microsoft, A+ certification. I could have gone for that, but I didn't take the tests. I simply took courses way back in the early 2000s when our business was getting started, marketing, business administration, computers, and doing a lot of stuff where we could promote our business, where I could fix the computers without having to call somebody up and spend $40, $50 an hour to fix my computers. And so I started learning how to do all that. I've got the knowledge, I just don't have the piece of paper, and that's what these jobs are wanting. We want to see your A+ certification. We want to see your certification in, Microsoft, this, that, and the other. Well, I don't have that. I just have the experience. And so, the job hunt continues. So I'll keep you apprised as things develop. Next issue I finally got resolved was my power bill issues. About a couple weeks back, last month probably, last couple of months I think I've been having, this goes back to December when I was in Mexico, and I received a power bill of $320 some odd dollars. And I was in Mexico the entire month of December. You guys remember that because I was helping my wife with her cancer. And I had to call up the power company from Mexico. Hey, what's going on with my power bill? I haven't even been home. Come to find out, it was just estimated. They couldn't get in my gate or whatever. I'm like, they never had to get into my gate before. In over 20 years that I've lived here, they could get the reading from the side of my fence, basically from the neighbor's yard. And apparently they brought in some subcontractors thinking that they would save them some money. And these people, made a bad situation worse. I've heard a lot of complaints, apparently, when talking with the city, that these people they brought in, all they were doing were fudging numbers, and I was one of them. When they estimated my bill, I was like, well, you look at my bill for the last 6 months, going back to June of 2016, it was never anywhere close to $300 and some. Oh yeah, well, we just had somebody come out, and apparently they couldn't get in the gate, and they just estimated. Well, again, how do you estimate such a high, ridiculous bill? So they sent somebody out, and again, they were way off, so they adjusted my bill and all that stuff, and got that fixed. Well, again, things were getting erratic the last couple of months here, last 3 months, and I had a guy come out. Well, they went back to estimating my bill again, and they estimated it too low, so I wound up inadvertently shooting myself in the foot, because I should have just left it alone. And yeah, they wound up sending me a big bill of $309, and that's where things were left off, a few weeks back. I didn't have a choice but to pay that, so I had to make that in payments because I was not prepared for a $309 power bill. But I got that paid, and then the May bill finally came in, and it was around 167, you know. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to leave that alone. Went ahead and paid it online, and then I talked to the rep. Okay, I want to get in this flat rate plan, take the estimate from the last year, because most of the time I was in Mexico, I wasn't even here. I had everything shut down, so, you know, basically came to just over $150. So that's my flat rate bill now, and I finally got that locked in, but that was by phone. I have not received an email confirmation or something in writing, and I'm one of those people that, you know, a verbal agreement is what it is. You know, it's about as good as, you know, it's about as worthless. You know, you can put it on toilet paper and that's as good as it's worth. It could just be tossed away. So probably this week I'm going to make a trip to the city, and I want them to print me out something in writing that I'm in a flat rate plan. This is what my bill is. And if I get any adjustments or, you know, any crazy, you know, readings again, like I've received over the past several months, I've got this to go back on. Hey, I'm in this locked rate. I don't know where you're getting this number from, so adjust it to, you know, 152, 153, whatever it is. So at least I believe I've got that fixed now. So, you know, it's always something. I'm trying to knock these fires out as they come up. Next issue up is the front maple tree. If you watched my video from this past week, lost another section of my maple tree, and I started going back through the videos. I've lost a few sections of my big tree there over the last couple of years. It's becoming a big concern for me, and I know some of you have commented on that. I'm going to have to call some arborists because I want to get the thing pruned. I'd like to try to save the tree because from what I was told by, I know the lady that used to live here, she grew up here. The house was built in 1938, and that's when that tree was planted, was 1938. So we're talking almost, you know, 80 years old. My house is the same age as that tree, so I'd like to try to save the tree if I can. But if you see the video that I got from the branch that fell, it's all hollowed out. All the other branches that have fallen in the past are hollowed out. The tree is rotting from the inside out, and of course squirrels getting in there, making their nests, and the carpenter ants. We've got a real bad issue of carpenter ants around here. They will burrow into trees, into untreated wood. I mean, they're worse than termites in this area. They're just little, they're kind of big. They're big black ants, and that's what they do. They live in the trees and they burrow into the wood, and they've got a huge nest. And if you remember my front porch, the project I was doing, replacing those rafters, the shady contractor I used back in 2007 didn't use treated wood, and the wood started to rot, and the ants started moving in, and they started burrowing their nests in there, and man, they were doing some serious damage. And then again, the boards were starting to bow, and I was worried that the whole front loft was about to collapse on my house. So again, my friend Mike helped me out. We jacked it up, got the new boards in there, and we took those rotten boards out. There was just nothing but black ants in it. That's what's happening with that tree. It's just getting eaten from the inside out by those things. There's really not much you can do about them because they're everywhere. So now I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that tree. What's it going to cost to just prune it back? Because I've got one section hovering over my house that I'm really worried about. And you know, there's basically 3 big sections left on that tree, and one of them is, again, going to crash into my house eventually, and could very well hit the neighbor's house as well, and that could be a huge insurance claim. So, and I don't know why that is. Insurance companies will not help you to prevent a casualty. They wait till the casualty happens before they, you know, do a claim. So it's bizarre how they, you know, operate, because it would cost probably, you know, if you help me 50% on that, you know, like if it's going to cost $1,000, you know, hey, give me $500 to help on that or something, but still, even that kind of money, I just don't have. I just don't have on hand. So I need to get estimates, and then I need to figure out where I'm going to, you know, what I'm going to do. But that's a new issue that's cropping up. I'm going to have to get on here pretty soon. So I'll keep you informed on that. Mexico, that keeps coming up. I don't know how many times I have to repeat myself, but here we go again. I do not know when I'm going to Mexico. Best guess would be in January for maybe a week for the anniversary, our marriage anniversary and her passing, which are 4 days apart. January 10 would be her first anniversary of her passing, and then January 14, which would have been our 17-year anniversary. So that's my best guess, and it would only be for a week because, again, I got to work. I got to find a job. And wherever I go, I will not be able to take a month off like I used to. Everything has changed. My trips to Mexico, I do not know how often or when I will get back. I mean, I know you guys want me to go back. You miss those vlogs. I miss doing them. I miss the family, but the sad reality is times are changing. I now have to readjust my priorities. Working for the next trip to Mexico is no longer, it's just no longer plausible. I just have to go when I can go. And I don't know what more to say on that. I just do not know. The only time I can think of would be that second week of January. And it would only be for a week. It wouldn't be for long at all. Because again, but more than likely I'm going to be working and I'm going to have to come back to work. So, that's just my guess on that. I have talked to, I have been keeping in touch with Melanie. I haven't really talked too much with the family. Maybe one sister periodically, one niece, a nephew here and there, but really, I don't really talk much with the family. I mean, things are still tough for me, and it's tough for them. And like I said, I'm trying to move on. I'm not trying to ignore them. It's just, it's time to change and move forward. And I'll just talk with the family whenever I can. But really, I gotta look out for numero uno here. That's me. So I gotta, I'll just. Christmas, I can pretty much guarantee you it's probably not going to happen, which would be the first time in 16 years that I have not gone to Mexico for the holidays. So that's going to be, weird for me. I'm not used to putting up a Christmas tree in my house. I got one in the attic and it's been there. It's not come down. Never had a need to, honestly, because we were always south of the border, but now that's changing. Because I'm almost guaranteed I will not be there for Christmas this year. So, but I do talk to Melanie periodically. She'll have some English homework, or I just, again, she speaks English, so I'm talking to her. Even Diego a couple of times. I've talked to him a couple of times. I mean, they're all doing good. They're still in school. Her parents are working at La Cima. If you remember my videos, it's in my videos. You just type in La Cima. It's like a pozoleria on the top of one of the mountains, right near the flag monument, and overlooking Iguala. And it actually overlooks towards Tuxpan. You can actually see our land, which, by the way, has still not sold. Still up for sale down there. But yeah, they're apparently working up there now, running the restaurant up there and trying to get some events. They've had live music, and sounds like things are doing well. Diego's still in school, getting ready for finals for this semester, and he's still got another, when he was telling me, I asked him how long he's going to be in school, and I guess for medical school, he's probably going to be in some form of school till he's almost 30 years old. He's 22 now. Yeah, he had a birthday in March. He's 22 years old, so another 8 years it looks like he's going to be in school for medicine, and he's still trying to decide what he wants to do. He's thinking about a field in cancer, which is cool. I like that. I even told him when I was down there, we could use some more brilliant minds fighting cancer, but it'll be up to him. He seems to be doing good. He's at that age where partying is a priority. So I told him, you need to be careful. And if he wants to come here to the United States to study, you don't want to get in trouble in school or have your grades affected by, your drinking habits or whatever. So he's a bit of a partier right now. But so far, at least from what I gather, he's still doing well. So, I'm only the uncle. All I can do is give advice. So, but Melanie's doing good. She's again that teenage year, and 16 going on 17 in December, and they're all growing up. So it's weird, but everybody seems to be doing good down there. But if you want to check out some of the videos, there's so many of them. I hadn't been to it's called La Cima, L-A and then C-I-M-A. You might be able to find that in the search engine on my channel, and probably see what it's all about for those that don't or aren't familiar with it. But so they're working up there now, and Melanie and I have talked about maybe going on WhatsApp and maybe doing a video one day, talking to her live, just recording it with my camera, and having her give me a tour of what's going on over there and stuff like that. We might try that one day. We'll see, but it sounds like Thursdays is the Pozoleria. They've got Pozole going on and the live music. And I think they're trying to extend it Friday and Saturday, and then they're trying to get like quince años parties or graduation parties, or basically trying to rent it out for big events and stuff like that. So so the small restaurant that they had along the street there, not far from where Red Wings used to be, that's closed down. They're actually having some issues with their neighbors. I remember that too. There's a crazy neighbor. I think I made a quick mention in some of the vlog videos when I was down there. They didn't like the Durango being parked in front of their place, and they would come over and start yelling, to move the Durango. They were just rude people. Never saw any customers there, so I don't know how they could stay in business with an attitude like that. But it's kind of good that they got away from that, because I kind of joked about that with Melanie and Diego, like, hey, you got some real pieces of work, for neighbors there. But so that little restaurant closed down probably not long after I left. I think in February or March, because they've been at the SEMA now for a couple of months. It's now May, so somewhere in the last couple of months has been the transition. So, but they seem to be doing pretty good, and that's a little odd thing. I called down there for Mother's Day and talked to my mother-in-law, and I could tell she didn't really. I could tell she was sad. Maybe she was, again, we couldn't really communicate well anyway. My Spanish is not that good, but talked to her for maybe 30 seconds and wished her happy Mother's Day. Feliz Dia de Madre. I was surprised my Spanish is still good, and she appreciated that. But other than that was all we said to each other. So I don't know. I mean, looking back, I don't know if there's animosity down there. I don't think so, but I just, I don't know. Again, you just kind of go through things in hindsight. That's what I do here a lot. Start, when I'm not working or keep myself occupied, I'm just kind of, going through what I could have done different. But no, there's just a lot of stuff, and of course I made mention of that in the past. I'm still dealing with the creditors. I'll probably be dealing with them for a while. My attorneys are doing good. I've got 3 of them that I may be going after. So far they seem to be abiding by the cease and desist order, but we already informed them if they try to attach any debts to my property, I'm going after them. That's, so for the most part things have kind of simmered down there, but I'm still dealing with those off camera. Still have customers coming in periodically, not many, some, but just not many. So that's the ultimate decision there, how long I'm going to be able to keep this business going. Yes, I could hire somebody, but I don't have the money to pay somebody. And again, what are they going to do? Are they going to be working, or are they going to be on the computer or texting, or, that's kind of something you have to deal with when you're self-employed. I need I could use the help, but I just don't have the clientele right now to support bringing in somebody full time. All I can do is bring somebody in a day here, a day there to help me with stuff. And I'm still going through files. And I thought I'd be done with that by now, but actually my one assistant that's worked with us for over 10 years, she's actually having some health issues, so she's not able to help me out. She hasn't been able to help me the last couple of weeks now. And then the other girl that I brought in, she's only been able to work for a couple of hours. And again, I just can't pay her anything. And she doesn't really know the system and all that, other than entering stuff in on a spreadsheet for customers that owe us money, that are out, outstanding bills that I'll probably never collect. I'm just trying to get a tally, which again is still around, estimates now are around 15,000 of outstanding bills or outstanding debt from customers that have just not settled up on their bills and probably never will. That sucks too, because 15,000, man, I could really use that kind of money these days. But no, it's again just the way my wife ran things. I couldn't control that. I tried. It was, she would just work out these deals with the customers. I'll put some money down. We'll send the money off when the check comes in. You can settle up with us then. Sometimes the checks came in. A lot of times the checks came in, they just didn't come back, or they had issues that we didn't know about, and the IRS flagged them for an audit. So then they get mad at us, like it was our fault, and they don't come and pay the rest of the bill. So the way I've run things, you pay up front or we don't do the bill, and it's worked out well. I've had 3 or 4 customers that wouldn't agree to that, and the others did. And that's the way you run things. You don't go to some of the bigger companies like H&R Block can draft it out of your check when you get it. Well, we're not a big company, and I'm still, even though I'm still under my agreement with the IRS for the ITIN numbers, I don't know if I'm going to renew that. Again, depends on the clients. And so far, I've only had 3 or 4 clients come in that need the ITINs or need them renewed, and I've had others that call and then they just don't show up. So I don't know. I'm good through 2018 with them, but I don't know if I'm going to renew because, again, I need to have clientele coming in to continue that process. So there's still a lot of ifs going on. I mean, I'm going to try to keep the business going. As long as I have customers, and especially for taxes, I can write off a lot of stuff for expenses on taxes, as long as I still have my business license active. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of what's been going on, what's been on my mind, what's coming up. The latter part of this year, starting in June, is going to be, like I said, it's going to be difficult for me. We're going on a year that my wife has not been here, and then our last vacation, our last real vacation was in June, because I don't count the trip that I had to make the end of August for her emergency surgery, and that's 7 weeks. That was no vacation, even though I was making videos trying to provide some entertainment behind the camera. Man, I was going through a very, very difficult time, and still, again, just trying to provide entertaining videos. And then going back for Christmas, again, it was no vacation. My wife was going through a lot, and then she didn't make it. So yeah, still got a lot to deal with. But I mean, overall though, I'm doing good. It's just, it comes and goes in waves. This is going to be like this probably for, I'm guessing, for the rest of this year. I mean, like I said, I've been keeping myself busy. This is keeping me busy, trying to keep myself occupied. And if I can find work, that'll keep me occupied, kind of get my mind off of, dwelling on the past. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes up. But yeah, if people would, I know it's not going to happen, but people would stop asking me when you're going to Mexico. Believe me, when I know, you will know. I mean, that's all I can say. That's just, plane tickets. Right now I'm trying to pay my credit card down. I'm trying to pay my bills, get my bills straight, dealing with her bills. So vacation is not even on the table right now. So there you go. That's my that's my update on things, and I guess I'll just keep you apprised as to what comes up, what's going on, and again, as I know things, I'll pass them on, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just going to continue moving forward. I'll just continue making random videos. Might be making a trip to the old used bread store. I've got a bunch of ink and toner cartridges. I might make a trip to Staples coming up. Because I can't really sell those old cartridges, used cartridges on eBay anymore. I used to be able to make some money on them, but now you're lucky to get anything for them. So yeah, I'm just going to see what I can get at Staples for, I guess, a credit or something for something down the road. But yeah, there's some videos I've got some ideas for coming up. So anyway, I guess I'll just wrap it up for now. So stay tuned, and as things crop up, I will make videos about it. So appreciate the feedback and support, continued support from you guys. So I'll just continue to move forward, and we'll keep on keeping on. So thanks again for watching.